Morning all. Alright, so doing things a little bit different this morning. The Jersey Countdown video is coming, because it has to, because there are enough days left for me to do it, with 10 jerseys a day, but just. So, there has to be one entry every day. But I wanted to do the news video first, because Jacob Vrana, man, it really looked like he was going to catch a break going to Detroit, and it looked great for him after he went there. And now he's out 4 months minimum of 4 months with shoulder surgery. So as people have been pointing out in the thread underneath my review for last night's game, Bobby Ryan likely gets himself a job, in part because Jacob Vrana is out. And the bad news is Vrana is a 20 goal scorer if he's healthy. The good news is that Bobby Ryan is a capable player himself, and Detroit wasn't favored to make the playoffs anyways. This does mean that it may be a little bit tougher for them to score goals, but we'll see what they do. Out of San Jose, William Eklund has looked good with 3 points in 2 games in the preseason. And I don't get into every team and every player's preseason, because then it's just boards upon boards upon boards of just, hey, so this guy's pretty good. Hey, so this guy's pretty good. And so just, focusing on certain players. Eklund being one of those guys that I'll look at because this year's draft and all of that stuff, and all of this draft was weak. I would absolutely love for this year's draft class to blow that theory out of the water immediately, much like the 2017 class did. So Eklund's look good. No guarantee he's going to win himself a spot in San Jose, but it's like LaSalle in Boston. He looked good. Boston sent him down to the Vancouver Giants, though, because he still needs some time and he needs some work in juniors, but he looked good in the games that I saw him in. Michael Bunting had a hat trick last night against the Sens, and I saw that as a genius pickup by Toronto when they got him. It is just the preseason, so you have to sort of scale back a little bit on the expectation, but Bunting looks pretty good to win himself a top 6 role on this team, and we'll see whether or not he stays there. But I'm still surprised he didn't work things out with Arizona and the Coyotes didn't figure out a way to keep him around, because he would have been a cheap player to hold on to, and he's a goal scorer. And Arizona, really needs goal scorers. But again, Arizona this year, it's about not necessarily winning the games as much as winning the draft lottery might be their primary focus right now. So Bunting's got to be happy in Toronto thus far. Things going okay for the Leafs thus far in the preseason. And again, you take it all with a grain of salt, right? Dallas, I'll get to the team name. Dallas. There's a lot of optimism in Dallas. I watched some of the Dallas-Florida game last night, which Dallas lost in a shootout, which I saw coming. I may have said out loud, they lost in a shootout? Wow. That's Dallas? Never. But, because last year, of course. But really, it sounds like everything's going pretty well for Dallas. They're really optimistic this year's going to be better, that everybody's healthy, and Jamie Benn loves the additions to the team. Now, if you look at the exits, there's a number of exits too. But yeah, the additions they're pretty happy about, although Hakanpää got hurt the other night, but it's not supposed to be too bad, this kind of thing. And Riley Tufte has looked pretty good too. In what I've seen of their games, Tufte's looked decent, so I'm not saying he's necessarily going to win a role, but if he does get sent down, maybe he'll be an early call-up. He's seen as one of those first-round draft picks that didn't pan out, but so far in the preseason, he's looked pretty good. Speaking of looking pretty good as well, out of New Jersey, Alexander Holtz had a goal last night, and he's fitting in pretty well. He was on a line with, I believe, Hughes and Sharon Govich. I know that was the plan going into the game. I know Sharon Govich had a couple of points in that game as well, so I'm guessing that was the line. And if Holtz ends up on a line with Hughes and Sharon Govich's numbers do not tell you how good he was last year. Jack Hughes is set to take that next step offensively this season. So if Holtz is on the line with them, he's going to get points. And he could be a Calder dark horse. Everybody, of course, looking at Cole Caulfield and saying Caulfield, is the favorite. And I agree. However, it could be a very interesting rookie class, especially with the draft class that we had this year that has so many unknowns to it. So, yeah, all the best to Holtz and to the young kids that are trying to make the lineups, as well as the veterans who are trying to earn their way into a contract through the professional tryout option. So there you go. Your news of the day for September 30th. And of course the subboard at the bottom, which is just kind of for fun. Again, I just brought that back because I know it doesn't tell exact sub numbers, and it used to. YouTube used to tell that. So that's why eventually I just dropped it. I was like, well, everybody can see that anyways. But yeah, I thought it was fun to put that on just the news board. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding any of these items. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.